Good morning, St. Peter's. We continue in our life of faith. And we have another mark of a life of faith this morning. It's obedience. It's being obedient to God rather than man. Listen to Hebrews chapter 11, verse 7. By faith, Noah, after he was warned about what was not yet seen and motivated by godly fear, built an ark to deliver his family. By faith he condemned the world and became an heir of righteousness that comes again, remember, by faith. This is a life of trust in God. Noah was warned and he didn't see what the outcome was going to be. He built an ark and he was motivated. The key word there, his phrase is he's motivated by godly fear. Meaning he prefers to obey God rather than the ridicule of man. Remember, Noah was ridiculed and despised and rejected and thought as foolish. But he continued to rather firstly please God. The mark of a life of faith was an obedience to God, a willingness to hear him. Yesterday, remember, we talked about walking with God, listening to him and speaking to him. Well, today, the mark of faith is being obedient to him and pleasing God. Some examples, what would it look like to please God versus pleasing man? Well, in Ephesians, it talks about our work and how our work, if we have a boss or if we work under someone, it's not to be servile fear. When the boss is just looking, we do work, but rather because we serve Jesus, because we have fear of God, we do a really good job whether our boss is around or not. There's one example of pleasing God first. If we're a boss or if we're managing other people, the fear of man, we can instill that in others, or we can threaten or coerce. But it talks about us having no favoritism and speaking truth and being someone who serves God first in our workplace rather than others. Children and parents is also in Ephesians and talks about basically using your authority in a coercive way or seeking to sit under the Lord and bring your children along in the training and instruction of the Lord. All of these are connected to our fear of man, our desire to please others first, or our desire to speak truth and to please God first as a priority. You remember Peter, he feared man and so he denied Jesus. The marks of faith is to be a people who are obedient to God first. That'll look very different in all sorts of different situations, but we're reminded to be people that are fearful of God first and are obedient to him. And this is what it is to have a life of faith. Obedience. I'll see you tomorrow.